audience isn't ghosting you, they're forgetting you. You're not being overlooked, you're being inconsistent. So they reward, and they, as in your audience, rewards one thing, and that's repetition. Okay. So let's talk about why consistency builds client trust. And this is coming from this week's blog, which is why credibility drives business revenue. Sorry about that. So if you want to follow along, the link is at shaycannon.com/credibility. That's shaycannon.com/credibility. Okay. So we all this week are talking about how credibility drives your business revenue. Okay. You to know is I came up with this formula from me being, what is this saying? It's saying content meeting is being sent to YouTube. Okay, yeah, we knew that. Look, Zoom, stop playing with us. Okay, so me working with entrepreneurs over a decade and building businesses, my own and theirs, right? I came up with a formula, and I call this formula the business growth ability formula, TM, because it's going to be trademarked, and it has four progressive parts to it. Okay, this week we're talking about the first part, which is credibility. On this the rest of this month, we're going to talk about the other parts, which are visibility, bankability, and profitability. Okay, now credibility is the first building block, because if you don't have credibility, then there's no need in you going further to the other abilities, because nobody's going to like, know, and trust you enough to actually buy from you. Okay, so that's how important credibility is. Now, the thing about credibility is it doesn't always mean you need these highfalutin credentials. Okay. Now, credentials are a form of credibility, but they're not the only form. Yesterday, we talked about something that you can have that can trump even credentials, and that is results. Okay. So if you're out here getting people the transformation, you need to be showing them. We talked about that yesterday with even 10 strategies on how to show them. Okay. But today we're going to talk about consistency, because see, nobody can trust somebody that does things sporadically or every now and then, or yeah, you did it one time, but what was the last time you did it, or what have you done for me lately? Okay, so let's get into the blog post. Why consistency builds client trust. When building credibility, consistency is not just a discipline. Okay, it's a signal. It tells your audience that you're reliable, serious, and still in the game. Many entrepreneurs get stuck in the loop of creating a single brilliant post, then disappearing for 3 weeks trying to make, that one perfect post. This is where that done is better than perfect comes in. Because see, done means you can be consistent. Perfect means you might be out here stalling and waiting and not being timely. Okay. But the truth is, your client, your ideal client, isn't waiting on perfection. They're waiting to see if you're still showing up. Okay. When people see your name, your face, or your brand regularly, it becomes familiar, and familiarity, all these words that's skipping up the Alabama, it builds trust. Your audience cannot trust what they cannot find. Even showing up with simple value driven content on a steady rhythm is enough to shift the perception from, oh, she just trying to do this business thing, to she's clearly running a business I need to pay attention to. All right. Now, that's what's in the blog, but here on the morning show, we go beyond the blog. We go beyond the what and the why, and we give you some actionable strategies. So I got 10 for you this morning. These are 10 strategies to um, be consistent so that you build your credibility and your revenue. But that ain't how it's said. Y'all know, they bad. Look, welcome back, Heather, because look, if I had enough money, baby, you would edit everything I put together, because Lord knows I write like I talk, and I sometimes I write like I don't talk. Let's see, 10 strategies to I'm gonna say create consistency. There we go. We're gonna correct it like that. So we're gonna say 10 strategies to create consistency to build credibility and revenue. All right, cool beans. Number one, routine signature content series. Okay, routine. Now, anytime I say routine, I want you to figure out how often you can do it. Okay, so routine just means you need to do it in an expected way on a schedule. So that could be daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, but you need to do it often. Okay, the more you want somebody to trust you, the more you need to be showing up more often. Okay, but I use the word routine a lot or regularly, because I want you to choose what works for you. Because see, choosing what doesn't work for you is a recipe for you not to be consistent. All right. Cool beans. Now, number one, routine signature content series. Now, that can be something like a weekly Tuesday tips, or it can be a monthly book review, whatever. Okay, something that you're doing consistently on a schedule and people know when to expect it. So, having a repeatable content format shows that you are organized, you are committed, and you are serious, not just posting when the mood strikes, right? Those people who just post whenever they feel like they want to post, or they show up whenever they feel like they want to show up, or they show up every time they want you to buy something, they don't come off as dependable. Therefore, they don't come off as trustworthy. This is why consistency matters for your credibility. All right. Number two, branded visual templates for recurring content. See, when you have the same look, layout, and feel to your stuff, it's easily recognizable as you, instead of you always switching stuff up all the time. Create a look and feel that is uniquely yours. I love my brand colors. I also love my brand fonts. I create a text only font or a typography font for all of my programs. Any offer that I have, I create a word text logo for it. It's always using the same fonts as my brand, and it's always using my brand colors. Okay, so you need to be recognizable. This is why we even have brand colors, brand fonts, and things like that. Okay, so visual representation. I'm sorry, visual I can't even say the word. What is the word? Visual repetition. That's the word. Repetition reinforces brand consistency even before they read a word. Okay. Number three, predictable podcast or video drops or live stream days. Okay. If you produce video or audio content, pick a day to drop it that people can expect it and kind of stick to it. Even when you go live around the same time and around the same day of the week. Okay. So even without huge numbers and huge followers, consistency builds loyal viewership. Okay. Which is credibility in motion. Number four, regular client check-in rituals. When you have your service clients, because we are service-based businesses, we have clients, and most of the services that some of us have could be retainer services or long-term services or project type services. We need to be checking in with our clients. Okay, so create a repeatable scheduled system for client touch points, like Monday meetings or project milestone check-ins. And what it does is it communicates professionalism and it reinforces that you show up even after you got their money. Okay, so that's important. Number five, routine wins roundup. Okay, post a regular recap of micro wins from your clients, from your own business, from things you're doing in your life that makes you show up as a better person in your business. So this could be some of your habits that you're doing. Show that stuff. Okay, because even small successes shared consistently build the narrative that you produce results steadily. Okay. Number six, consistent storytelling style and brand voice. When your audience hears the same tone, the same language, and values in everything that you share, it builds familiarity. Okay. For me, y'all hear me talk about making the money and time freedom. I want you to have both. I don't want you out here with a personal job working yourself to death. You finally make it to six figures, but you don't have any of the freedom you thought you were going to have for that six figures. So I talk about that all the time. Okay. Consistency in voice creates an emotional handshake every time they see your content. Okay. Now, shout out to Heather. Heather has a book coming out. She can help you with that storytelling thing. So stay tuned. Heather, when we come to you with the question at the end, go ahead and tell them a little bit about your book. All right. Cool beans. Number seven, routine behind the scenes updates. Show up routinely, okay? And pull back the curtain on what you're working on. Learn what you're learning. What are you refining or updating? It positions you as a real person building in real time. And guess what that does? It builds real connectivity and credibility. Okay. Number 8, at least monthly campaigns or promotions. Okay. There was a week that we talked about monthly campaigns, and we even talked about weekly promos. But in the very least, you should be asking for the sale in a big way, at least monthly. Okay. Run a themed sales event or promo each month. No matter your business model, even you, no matter what you sell, okay, no matter what your service is, even you can use those monthly retail holidays as an anchor to create these campaigns around. Okay, so yeah, you can use President's Day, regardless of how you feel about the current president. It's a day for all of them. So you can use President's Day to sell something. You can use Halloween to sell. There is a retail holiday every month because we are a capitalist nation. So there's always an excuse to sell that you can borrow from to create as your theme. So you don't even have to be creative and think of, well, what can I create as a theme to sell my stuff around? It's a retail holiday every month. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 9. Quarterly business reflections and lessons learned. Okay. So let your audience in on your journey every quarter. They'll see your consistency, not just in you showing up, but in how you're evolving in your business. And what this is going to do, it's going to build powerful credibility. When you, it's kind of like that behind the scenes, but behind the scenes is showing them something, and you may be narrating and storytelling, but really sharing reflections and lessons learned. Let me tell you how that it automatically breeds a credibility. Okay. Number 10, daily or weekly engagement rituals for your community, right? So whether that community is a group somewhere, whether it's your email list, or whether it's just you're talking about your followers on a social media platform, give them some kind of, at least weekly, but daily is great, some type of engagement thing that you do. Okay. So that could be a daily poll on Monday talking about, how's business going, or how's your day going? How's life going? Depends on what you're doing. Right. Heather helps people to write books, and she professionally edits them. So she could be asking, how's that book going? How's your writing going every Monday? Right. Cheryl could be saying, hey, you turned that book into a script yet? Hey, turned that book into a script yet? Let's talk about turning your book into a script. Turn that book into a script yet? Right? Kimberly can say, hey, summer is coming. What you doing with those crusty feet? Right? Hey, today is crusty feet Wednesday. Let's get it. Let me show you another way to moisturize, or let me show you another thing that you can do, right? Dr. LaFera has so many things that we can pull from, right? But let's talk about her juicing, right? So she can have juicing Thursdays. Well, she shares either a recipe, or if she sells recipes, she don't have to give away her recipes. She can talk about, ingredients. Yeah. So it could be ingredient Thursday and talk about how something turmeric or something is healthy for you and all the benefits. And she talk about the names of the smoothies or juices that she uses turmeric in. So we need daily or at least weekly engagement with our community. This is a part of how we nurture them, instead of just asking them for money. You should not just be talking to them when you want to sell something to them. All right. So the question of the day, let me grab it. Boom, here we go. Let me put it in the studio chat. All right. And then I'm going to come over here to YouTube. Hey, Chantilly, I see you. Oh, Chantilly got some kind of badge with a crown on it. Okay. We see you. We see you, Chantilly. Okay, let me see. This is telling me to get rid of that. Okay, cool. All right. So the question is, what is something you are consistent with already? Okay, already. You're already doing it consistently that you know you should be sharing to start building credibility. Or if you around here not being consistent just yet, what from the list that I gave you could you now start to be consistent with so that you can share it to be more credible? So that is the question for you to think about. And I'm going to go through your 10 strategies as a recap without all the extra. All right. So these are 10 strategies to create consistency to build credibility and revenue. So number 1, routine signature content series. Okay. Number two, branded visual templates and recurring content. Number three, predictable podcast or video drops or even live stream days. Number four, regular client check ins. Number five, routine wins roundup. And in case the Alabama's getting away, wins, WINS. Okay. Number six, consistent storytelling style and brand voice. Shout out to Heather if you need help with your storytelling. Number seven, routine behind the scenes updates. Number eight, at least monthly campaigns and promos. Number nine, quarterly business reflections and lessons learned. You want to share them as credibility. Number 10, daily or at least weekly engagement rituals with your community. Okay. So those are your 10 ways you can be consistent out here and create this credibility that we need as a building block for our business growth. All right. So we're going to start with Dr. LaFera with our question of the day. And that is, what is something you are consistent with already, Dr. LaFera, but you know you should be sharing it or sharing it more to build credibility? Because see, you out here doing a lot. So I ain't gonna even ask you the second part of the question.
uh, I guess I don't even remember the second question since you're not gonna ask me. But I do a lot of I do a lot of um routine content. Like now I do. I'm more routine with my content. I realize like what people actually are going to engage with and stuff. So for me, um, I'm going to be more. Um, uh, I'm gonna start having to create more of that content. So and that content is like it's juicing and it's also doing live streams, which I had stopped.
Yeah.
Where I teach and not just like teach how to fix yourself, but I teach like what's wrong with you. So I need
Mm-hmm.
to start doing more of that. So I'm more of a thought leader, and then I'll pull that over onto LinkedIn because like all that ties into burnout. Because like ultimately, I want to be the burnout like retreat
Yes.
person. Like that's what I want to be, and um, showing up and people seeing me is how I get there.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
love
but I use food to fix it. I mean, still. So, I mean, I want to be that person.
it. Yes. I love
I
that. I
start
want
with
to
food
be
to
that
fix it.
person too. We
I
need
want to be
more.
that person.
Yes, be that person for all the people. Kimberly, I guess you're gonna use the studio chat. So you answer the question for us, and we're gonna go on to Cheryl. So Cheryl, what is something you are consistent with already that you should be sharing to build credibility? And if you aren't consistent with anything, which I doubt that applies to you, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out before people forget the second half of this question. If you aren't consistent with anything right now, then what from the list we've given you from the 10 strategies should you start being consistent with for credibility?
Post daily, and
Uh-oh,
I
you sound muffled, Cheryl. I know you about to give us some good stuff, so I want to make sure we hear.
hello.
Yes, there it is.
I post consistently,
Mm,
and I do a mixture of it because I know that um, we want to blend the business and life, and that way it doesn't feel so impersonal. I guess is the
mm-hmm.
word I'm looking for, and so
Yeah.
that works for me. One of the other things that I really do is I honor people's birthdays. Many people do not get birthday celebrations in Facebook, Instagram, people shouting them out. That's most of what they get. And
Mm-hmm.
so people, they will, say happy birthday. And then, by the way, what is it you do again? You see
Mm,
what I'm saying? So there's the door. And um, meet me in Messenger, we can chat.
love it.
And I've got a lot of business that way. So that's what I do. I'm always looking to find a way to
Mm-hmm.
connect. And what I did, I do something each month. And what I did last month was I went back and connected on Facebook, social media with the people who brought me into this industry and took me under their wing. And they're still published, they're still on New York Times, and it was like, where have you been? And da 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 da. And some great things have come out of that. So I would advise everybody to take uh, once a week to just look up new friends that they can add. You'd be surprised who will accept your friend request. Famous, not famous, just send it out there if it looks interesting.
I love that. Great stuff. See, this is why I wanted to make sure we heard you because I knew you be out here consistent with a lot of stuff that we don't even think to do based on how different your business model is. So I wanted to make sure we heard that. So thank you for all the value adds, Cheryl. Let's go backwards for a second to Kimberly. Kimberly said, not really consistent, except that I do use branded templates with logo. I need to do behind the scenes updates, more campaigns, and storytelling. Cool beans. Speaking of storytelling, let's jump right on over here to Heather. Heather, it look like you and a dog. What you over there doing, girl?
No, I had to move my desk to a different place, and so I'm not in front of the window, and I
Uh,
forgot to put a light right here. So,
gotcha.
so
All
there's
right.
light over here. Anyway, hi, morning.
Hi. So the question is,
Yes, ma'am.
what is something you are consistent with already that you should be sharing to build credibility? And if you're not consistent with anything right now, because we all go through our seasons, what from the list can you start sharing consistently to build your credibility?
So I think one of the things I'm already doing is I always use the same tone and style, right? Like I am who I am, and this is how I talk, and so this is how I write, how I speak, right? So I'm consistent with my tone and style, but the problem is that I'm not doing any routine signature content, and I used to, and so that's the goal is to get back to that. In terms of how that's going to look. I've tried to follow your example where you do like the blog and then you do, there's like 4 points in the blog and then you talk about those throughout the week. And that seemed to work pretty well. So using like totally stealing your framework
Yeah, because
was
I
helpful. And
teach it.
so I'm going to get
But
back to that.
also, don't forget, I be loading your inbox up with stuff that you can do as content series. Like I'm forever looking at stuff like, Heather can do that. Heather, check this out. And you
Yep.
like,
And I look at
cool.
everything. It's just been a
Yeah.
little overwhelming.
But you
But
can kind of, have a fun time of week where you do, you can kind of pull from those. You
yep.
don't have to get typecast into one of them. You could just kind of do something fun once a week. It could be Fun Friday, and you
Yeah.
pick one of those things, and you kind of do it, and then come up with some fun stuff, and also do it.
Yep, I was thinking about doing that too. And I used to do an ask me almost anything live on like Thursdays at like noonish. So I want to get back to doing that because those were super fun also. Um so yeah, so now I've answered, can you share some content series? Oh, that's from Dr. LaFera. Um Pharmacy Friday.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Because we love our alliteration.
Yeah, because I mean that's what she does. She's teaching us that
Mhm.
our food is our medicine. So when we say pharmacy, we're talking about FARM as a play on the PH, what I'm saying? So she could have Pharmacy Friday, and that could be when she talk about the ingredients.
Mhm.
She could talk about common ailments and then the common foods that help those ailments.
Yeah, I pay
And
attention to
the
every
fact that,
single I
yeah,
pay
and then she
attention
could
to every
sell her
single thing
juice
she
book.
puts out.
Yeah, she could
Yeah.
sell her juice and books so they can know how to use the ingredients. She don't have to give away her recipes. Dr. LaFera said that was quick. Girl, yeah, yeah. Pharmacy Friday. It just came up. So I was, yeah, let's get it out there. All right, Heather. What was the second part of yours?
What second
Were
part?
you done?
What?
Were you done answering the question?
I don't, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us about this book where you're teaching people about storytelling.
Well, thank
Please.
you for that. We've talked about storytelling on your show quite a bit,
We have.
about the importance of it. And basically, really, like stories are just how we connect. Like we just told stories just now, right? Like these are all stories. And every time like Dr. LaFera goes live, she's telling a story about her own health journey and how what she's learned can help other people. But a lot of entrepreneurs don't really think that storytelling's for them. They think that it's something that like PR professionals do, or you got to get a marketing strategist to do. So I wrote a book called The Tiny Book of Storytelling Secrets for Entrepreneurs, and it is tiny. It's only 67 pages, so it's quick. But we all know that AI is playing an increased role in our productivity. And so the book includes AI prompts to help you figure out what your story is.
I love it. Come through. Look at you using AI. You've come so far. I'm so proud.
I know, I admit it though. In the book, I admit it. I put it that it was a hard no for me at first, that I used really hard words like plagiarism and other things like that. And now I clearly am over
Till
it.
one day we had all the fun. We were supposed to be paying attention and was
Oh,
not.
we did.
So cool beans. So
Yeah.
there go
Well,
another one
thank
for
you
you,
for that.
Dr. LaFera. Medical Monday, which I've heard before. However, your Medical Monday would be debunking traditional medical beliefs, because what we know is traditional medicine has us taking medicine instead of eating the right food. So I like that for you too. All right, let's go over here to YouTube, because YouTube has been bumping over here. So Chantalee said, Chantalee, you got a crown and a number one. What does that mean? Let me see if it's gonna tell me what it means. Uh, oh, you a top fan. Come on now. You the number one top fan, Chantalee. Thank you, Chantalee. We love you. Um, she says, I just started going live on YouTube Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I want to start a series in YouTube shorts. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Go ahead and get it going. Um, Cynthia asked me about what number 5 was, so I reminded her, and she said, "Thank you." So, Cynthia, you want to answer the question of the day, which is, what is something you are consistent with that you need to be sharing for credibility? You can use the comments or the chat, the live chat, to answer that for us. So, I have something I need to admit, because let me tell y'all, I am consistent in so many places. But one place I am not consistent with is my email list, and it is a shame. It is a doggone dirty shame, because there are plenty of people on my email list that don't keep up with me on social media and don't watch the morning show. I'm not reminding them about the morning show, any of that. So I need to get back into that, especially as I'm going into building this list again. Who builds a list not to talk to them? A lot of y'all, so shut up. But I don't want to be I don't want to be guilty of that with y'all. So that is the least we can be doing as an organic marketing technique, is build your list and then talk to your list. It is property that you own. It's a platform that you own with people. So yeah, I definitely need to get back to talking to them. So even I am have something I need to be consistent with. So I understand that you're not consistent, but hey, get consistent with something. Because another thing that you have to understand is I show up right here live Monday through Thursday, most weeks out of the year. So there are some things I can get laxed in and not be deemed not dependable, because I am so uber dependable in other areas. So that's something for y'all to think about, right? You out here being inconsistent with everything. There's nothing that your ideal client can latch on to say that this person is consistent with this. So you have to give them something. You're human. You're not going to be expected to be consistent with everything. Because let me tell you how my tribe, they know me. They know that I overdo it. They know that half the time I'm tired. So when I have those rare moments where I don't deliver, they don't even say shit to me. I'll say, "Oh damn, I forgot to do so and so." Ain't nobody said nothing. Why? Because I over deliver most of the time. So it's easy for me to be forgiven for being human, because on most things, I am showing up consistently. So y'all keep that in mind, because see, it's awesome to want grace and to give grace, but when people pay you their money, they want what they paid for. So grace is not in that as much. So you got to show up, especially for those who are paying you. But you definitely want to show up so that people will pay you. All right. Cool beans. All right. So yesterday we talked about results, and how, because you have results, you have credibility. In fact, shout out to Kadia Pharmacy, or Apothecary. I'm sorry, Kadia Apothecary. She commented on our live yesterday. She said, "So true. I don't have the letters behind my name either, but that's the target audience I primarily serve. Love that you mentioned not feeling less than. More, many have letters and feel that they are better than." So yeah, y'all have to remember that results, especially these days, like I'm gonna say in the last 5 years, especially, people don't care that you have letters behind your name or in front of your name if they can't figure out whether or not you can actually get them the result that they want, right? So they're out here choosing, right? People who are not professional by academia standards, but are getting the thing done, right? So yeah, nobody cares that that girl didn't go to beauty school and she's not a professional cosmetologist with a license. If I can sit on her porch and get them braids, I'm going over there because I want those braids that look just like that she got, right? So that's a great example. So just remember that those results count towards your credibility, okay? Now, if you happen to have letters and you out here getting people the transformation, baby, you better be sharing it because that is a double whammy of credibility. So we're not taking away from professional credentials, but what we're saying is we need them credentials and we need them results, okay? Cool beans. Dr. LaFera said those with letters don't know how to talk to a customer most of the time either, respectfully. Yeah, because they're coming from some of them, not all of them. Some of them are coming from a place of I know better than you or I am better than you. And that doesn't work well at all. I will say in this day and age, the average person is way more educated in some of these professional areas than we used to do in years ago. And we have way more access to knowledge in those areas. And so you're not better than, you were just educated in. And so got to keep that in mind. So cool beans. All right, y'all. So if you got any questions about results for credibility or what we talked about today, consistency for credibility, let me know. Does anybody have any questions? Do you have any value adds? Do you have any aha moments from what we talked about so far this week? Tomorrow we're going to talk about what makes you credible online. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, which is
So
really
I just want to stress
reputation.
something that you said during the
Yes.
list.
Okay.
When you were saying um, routine signature content series, a lot of people think routine is daily. And you were very clear about doing what works for you, which
Yes.
for my, ADHD brain,
Mhm.
consistency is really hard for me. So I have to do what works for me. What is sustainable? What is
Yes.
sustainable? So it might not be daily, it might be twice a week, and
Exactly.
that's okay.
Because at the end of the day, the best routine is one you'll actually do.
Correct. And so I just really appreciate the fact that you were very clear about defining routine as what works for you. So thank you
Exactly.
for that.
Because I have something, let me spring this on y'all. Y'all know I've been doing this morning show for 3 or 4 years. This may be the last year for the morning show. I am being very intentional in talking about things that I feel like is a gap in information that we haven't talked about yet, but that is in the arena of business growth, so that I can round out this morning show, and the next content series will look different than going live 4 times a week. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret about consistency. When you're new to something and you want to be credible to that something, that's when you need to be showing up the most, more often. Okay? Because once you show up more often for a while and you gain that credibility, now you just need to show up regularly or routinely, but not as often. But if you're looking to grow, to be known, that's where the frequency matters, right? So some of you want to build a community, you want to build one fast, but you're not showing up enough to build one fast. Now, will you build one by slowly showing up or not showing up as frequently? You will, but you're going to slowly build a community. So how quickly you need that community is how much frequency you need to be showing up, right? And I'll tell you something else about credibility. And it probably kind of goes with tomorrow, but I'm not sure Heather will join us tomorrow, so I want to say it today. And that is the quickest way to credibility for anybody is to write a book. The quickest way to credibility for anybody is to write a book, because at the end of the day, even though self-publishing has become more popular, even though people are out here writing and God forbid self-editing, and putting their books out there themselves, more and more people are doing it, but it's still the vast majority of people who have not done it. Okay, that's why when people ask me, is being an Amazon bestseller still a relevant acknowledgement? Yes, it is. Because are you one? No, you're not. So therefore, everybody's not still one. There are more, right? But guess what else there are more of? There are more Tony winners, there are more Emmy winners, there are more Oscar winners. That doesn't stop people from wanting it because everybody in that area of expertise still don't have it. Okay? So, write a book, instant credibility. If somebody has a choice to buy from you, somebody else that does what you do, but that other person has a book, they're going to buy from them because they're going to think in their mind, oh, they're more credible. They have a book. Okay, so
It
keep that in
instantly
mind.
brands you as an expert, like puts a
It
big
does.
sign on top of your head. Expert, expert.
Mhm. Yes, yes. That's why I'm so proud of you, Heather. Shout out to Heather. And then when you get that book, you let Heather edit it and you publish it. Get with Cheryl so she can help you make money with that book in all kind of different ways, which will also lend to your credibility and your pockets. Okay, cool beans. All right. Any questions, value adds, or aha moments, Cheryl?
Pick my phone up. The watch the court dockets and the cases that are coming up with the AI, because many authors now, they don't want to pay an editor, so they've been putting their books in Chat GPT to be edited. And last month and a half that
Uh-huh.
were the judge decreed that anything that you get out of Chat GPT is fair use. So that means they can fairly use your book and basically walk around plagiarism. However, we do have organizations, NINC, Romance Writers of America, et cetera. They're putting together class action suits to counteract
Mhm.
this. So it is
Yeah.
it's a hot mess, and then we won't even get into deviant art and um, Mid Journey and all that good stuff. Their class action suits against them because they just take everybody's stuff, National Geographic in particular, and they haven't gotten on the docket yet, but they have been filed against. So anyway, the other thing about writing your book is that if that book becomes an Amazon bestseller, Amazon gives you perks that other people have to pay for, and you may
Mhm.
not in the way you think, you'll notice that maybe you're getting a lot of coverage. I'll put it that way, and they start linking you with other top authors in that arena. So don't use those crazy tags. Like if you've got your book mentions Africa, don't go and put it in African history where there's like six people and you're number one bestseller because two people bought your book. There's nothing wrong with being that bestseller, but when people go to buy the book, they don't want to be misled that, oh, this isn't about Africa. This is something else, and
Mhm.
that cuts.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you for that value add, Cheryl. I appreciate that. Over here on YouTube, Cynthia said she's just starting and her book will be uploading within a month entitled Press. I love that. I love that. Congratulations, Cynthia. Yeah, that book thing, baby. Instant expert, instant credibility. There's no faster way to get credibility. So I love that for you guys. Again, tomorrow we're going to talk about your reputation, what makes you credible online. Let me see here. Let's go to these show notes again. What is happening this week? Again, July's calendar of events has been released in both the paid membership on the dashboard and also in the free group. So you can check it out in the on the events tab or on the what is it, the pin post or featured post tab. Okay, Friday we have a get shit done work session. That's usually the paid membership only. We were inviting our free business mastermind to come in on the second half of that. So check your various places for more information on that and join us on Friday. Now, coming soon is our revenue reset summer boot camp. Okay, it's going to help you to jumpstart your path to cash. It is an intensive. It's going to be 4 hours on a Saturday, July the 19th. You want to go ahead and get in on this now. Why? Because you've already missed the super bonus, right? Where we're gonna have a after super session. After the Saturday, we have another day that's gonna be a super session. You've already missed that. It's already disappeared. You don't want the regular bonuses to disappear on you. You're paying the same price. You might as well get everything you can for that same price. So go to shaycannon.com/summer. This is our summer boot camp. And I need you to understand that right now, if you're not making as much money in your business as you want to, if you're not making any money in your business right now, you feel like that business is dead, it's an expensive hobby, right? It can't even pay for itself. This is the intensive for you. I have created this for you as a fractional chief operating officer. I'm going to show you how to go in your business and assess from all kind of different points why your business may not be making money. We're going to jumpstart that thing. Okay. So shaycannon.com/summer. Okay. Go sign up. All right. This has been the Her First Six Figures morning show, which is more of an interactive coaching and training experience. Baby, we don't call it free business mastermind for nothing because we masterminding, okay? And we position Black and brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. Find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, plus links to resources like how to join our highly valuable free business mastermind group and how to get the show notes, like those list of 10 strategies I give y'all every show. You want those. Those are in my show notes. You can get that those show notes from today or recent past shows. You want to know how to get them? It's in the description below, all right? If you have not already, help us out by giving us a thumbs up. Make sure that you like the episode. We show up near daily and give you good stuff for your business. Like the episode. Also, so that you don't miss a thing, I need you to subscribe to the channel and understand this is one video of a video series. So check out the other videos, all right? And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, and we'll see you right back.